After World War I, Christie actively developed armored weapons and successively developed several preliminary models in the early 1920s. However, these early Christie suspensions did not have any advantages. Christie himself vigorously promoted his M1921 tank, but Poland did not approve it after reviewing this tank. It wasn't until a few years later when a more advanced M1928 model appeared, which already had the initial design of the future Christie suspension. In 1929, Poland expressed its intention to purchase the M1928, and Christie himself also wanted to sell it. However, possibly due to economic reasons, he demanded that Poland also purchase the production license. This matter dragged on until 1930, by which time Poland had inspected the tank chassis and was willing to spend $10,000 to buy the tank. However, negotiations for the production license were not going smoothly. Christie himself was worried that Poland would obtain the tank without purchasing the license and then produce it on their own, so he detained the prototype and tore up the contract. Although the purchase contract with Christie fell through, Poland's idea of developing a new type of tank never stopped. On March 10, 1935, Poland began its 10TP tank development project. The actual development work did not begin until 1937, as Poland lacked reserves in related technologies, especially in the engine. The prototype was completed in July 1938 and then underwent testing. The 10TP tank used a 210 horsepower 12-cylinder engine, which was not very satisfactory. However, Poland did not have a suitable model, so this engine was purchased from the United States. The tank's suspension imitated the Christie suspension, which may have involved some infringement, but at the time, many countries were doing the same, so it didn't matter. The running gear used 4 pairs of large-diameter idler wheels, with the drive sprocket at the rear and the idler wheel at the front. The 4th pair of idler wheels was connected to the drive sprocket, allowing the tank to travel without tracks, similar to the BT Fast tank series. The tank's armor used a riveted structure, and because it was a prototype, the armor protection was not very thick, ranging from 8 to 20 millimeters. However, some sources claim that the armor thickness ranged from 35 to 50 millimeters. Considering that the tank itself weighed just over 10 tons, this data may have been the standard after finalization. The tank was equipped with a spacious turret, compared to other Polish tanks, with the main weapon being a Polish-made 37mm Bofors anti-tank gun, and a 7.62mm coaxial machine gun as auxiliary armament, as well as an additional machine gun on the left front of the hull. As a light tank, this kind of weapon configuration was considered average at the time, similar to the BT Fast tank and the 38T tank. As a new tank developed by Poland, the 10TP revealed many problems during testing, mainly concentrated in the power and transmission systems, such as defects in the engine cooling system, rapid wear of the gearbox and clutch, which happened to be Poland's weaknesses at the time. However, Poland's design was not without its highlights, such as the track version meeting the requirements for high-speed travel and being comparable in reliability to the BT series, as well as the excellent performance of the Polish-made artillery. The 10TP tank weighed 12.8 tons, was 5.4 meters long, 2.55 meters wide, and 2.2 meters high, and had a crew of 4, including the driver, co-driver, also the machine gunner, the tank commander, and the gunner. The tank had a maximum speed of 50 km per hour when using tracks and 74 km per hour when using wheels. According to Poland's plan, the 10TP tank would become the main force of the Polish armored forces after being finalized for mass production. If it weren't for the outbreak of World War II, it might have been finalized for mass production in another 1 or 2 years. There are few records about the results of the prototype, but it is said that it was brought out to be counted and took part in a desperate counterattack. After the German occupation of Poland, this project was not continued. Some articles commented that if this tank had been successfully developed, it would have had the performance level of the Crusader cruiser tank.